Hi everyone. I want to outline some key points to channeling. If anyone is interested in understanding how channeling works, you feel like you're on the verge of channeling or getting something, this is a video for you. We are all, from what I understand, we're all basically going to be going in that direction anyway. There's going to be, because as we're waking up to the quantum, everyone's going to be very connected to the quantum realms, right? So there's going to be channeling that's going on for a lot of us that we are going to feel, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that now. So I just thought it's quite interesting to explore this, and what if you aren't, not now, but in the future might be coming to. And it's important, I feel, to understand channeling, because there can be some gray areas. There can be some points that if you don't understand it, it might make it more difficult for you. I feel like channeling for some people may not be what you maybe want it to be or believe it to be. So it's important to put some I want to kind of say red flags out there about this. So channeling happens through you, right? It happens through us. It's all an inner thing that happens, like an inner vibration that's going through you. That's basically how channeling works. And it's the connection with the quantum that allows us to channel source energy, whatever that is, source energy, whether it's, like galactic beings, it could be other guides, it could be angelic guides, whatever it is, like source energy as well. Anything that you're channeling is basically in that way. A really important point about channeling, before I get into the three main points that I want to kind of outline about channeling and how to channel if you're interested or you're on the verge of channeling, which is, when anyone channels, what we need to understand is that it's going through you. It's going through your vibration, through what you're bringing out within yourself. So that means, even though that I feel a lot of channelers generally, I feel like nowadays are kind of saying the same message. There's a similar message going on. With a lot of channelers, with a lot of people that are channeling, right? It's a similar message that they're kind of saying similar, maybe not exactly the same, but very similar, right? And that's for different reasons. It depends on maybe what they're channeling, or who or what they're channeling. However, what's also important is that there's another layer to this, is that because it's going through you, it's going through your vibrational field, which means it's going through your energetic points. It's going through your different wounds, filters, right? Personality traits. So if you are channeling and you have, let's say, a particular wound of unworthiness, then if you have that wound, like everyone's come here with some kind of unworthiness wound, but if you are working on that wound within yourself at that point and you're channeling, then what might come out is going to be through the filter of unworthiness. So maybe it might be a bit more negative potentially. Maybe because of that negativity, you may not be able to see the whole picture. Maybe you're just going to see some darkness that you don't want to see, and then you might have to turn it around and start bringing your mind into it. And that's the other part of channeling. When the mind comes in, it kind of blocks what's actually true as well. And again, it depends on what and who you're channeling, because everyone will have a different perspective. Even galactic, beings, they have, every different race of galactic beings, they have their own perspective, right? So there are similarities for sure, and there's the truth that's basically the same, but they're just going to come from almost like different perspectives. So there's a whole load of kind of layers and complications with channeling to understand. So the reason why I'm saying that is, I would just be mindful as to basically use your own discernment. I'll be mindful as to what you are picking up. And instead of kind of going into any channeling, listen to anyone channel and go, that is it, that's 100% correct, and I'm going to listen to that and nothing else, let's say, well, then you're not listening to yourself. It's really, really important that you are using your own discernment and you are listening to your inner voice. This is what I'm trying to say, okay, when you're listening to channeling. And when it comes to your own channeling, you need to be mindful that however much you believe that you're accurate, it's going through your filter. So you're not going to be 100% accurate because it's going through your own energetic point. It's really important to understand that. Okay, so that being said, I'm now going to outline 3 key parts to channeling. So Number one, channeling can only happen through the body. Okay, really important. This is so important. And I had to learn this lesson myself. So if channeling can only happen through the body, what that means is that you have to be mindful of how much you're grounding yourself. You have to ground yourself. You have to be grounded within your body. When I first started channeling, I had a problem with this because I had some problems with grounding. I even, to this day, I still have to be mindful and do my work in grounding. But basically, channeling happens through the body. So if you are not grounded within your body, if you are not earthly, as in allowing yourself to be really centered within your body and feel things within your body, channeling is just going to be difficult. Almost like there's going to be blocks there. There's going to be things that you see or feel that are not really maybe fully true, or you're not seeing the full picture. It cannot happen in the upper head energy. Channeling does not happen up here. I know, if anyone, follows like about things about energetic points in the body, energy centers, however you want to say it, there's the third eye, and the third eye is part of that because it allows you to bring things in through your vision that maybe we can't see, properly, obviously, physically speaking. So that is part of it. However, this is not the only part. In fact, it's really important we bring this down within our body, because the way channeling works is that we feel things, we are feeling things through our body. That's literally how channeling is. You don't get channeling in any other way. It's a channeling that happens through your body, which means you have to feel it within your body. So when I get things come through, which is very different to when I first started. When I first started, it was like more of more visuals. I started with seeing colors and things like that. But as you go through it and you open up more and more, you just, like as it has been for me, it just comes through my body. I know I'm just a vessel. Basically, that's what we are, right? Humans are vessels. We are all vessels. So the vessel has to be open, but the vessel is your energetic body. It works with your physical body as well. So it has to come through to the body, through the body. So when I'm channeling, it's like, it's instant. It comes through and then it's out. And half the time, I don't really know what I'm saying, or I don't really remember what I'm saying because it's so instant. It's just out, right? So again, it's really important to ground yourself and understand it is about being in your body and really centering yourself in your body. So important about channeling. Number two, heart. It is about the heart. If we are not within our heart and we're not centered within our heart, we cannot be open to the messages. So there's a big heart opening that needs to happen when you're channeling, if you're interested in channeling. Channeling can only happen, I said before, through the body, but also through the heart, okay? So channeling, and I mean, I'm getting the word profound channeling, but I feel like, lighter channeling, like the channeling that you want for the highest self of all, right? Including yourself and everyone, the highest self of the highest timeline. It has to happen through the heart, because the heart is the central place of your entity, your energetic point, the connection of everything, to source and everything, right? So it's the truth of all truths, and it's where the love vibration is. And when you go through the heart, it brings everything through love. So everything's out in the most loving, highest timeline ever. It has to be, it's the only way. Plus, when you go through the heart, it's about your feelings. It allows you to be central to the feelings that are coming through as well, because that's how channeling works. It's through feeling. You feel it, and feeling happens through the heart. So number two, heart. It all has to go through your heart. So if you are interested in channeling, I would really do some heart work. I would really start focusing on your heart more and more, because unless it's through the heart, I don't feel like it's true channeling. Number three, this is one that could trip people over, especially at the beginning. Trust. Channeling, a lot of it, especially at the beginning, all of it, I'm being told pretty much all of it, is about trust. You have to trust what you're feeling. You have to trust what you're seeing. If you're, someone who sees things, some people are more visual. I mean, when I first started this, I was seeing things more, but then as I went through it, it was all about feeling and also hearing. The words that come through, I get as well. So, however, whichever one is your strongest point, I feel like I'm kind of doing a lot of it, the way I channel. And going through my body. But trust is really, really important, because in the beginning, I remember when I first started channeling, or was like on the verge of very many years ago, I stopped it because I didn't trust it. So I think I was just meditating, and I remember getting visions of, I think there were like angelic beings and some colors as well, all these kind of different stuff. And I remember thinking, no, that can't be, no, this cannot be right. So I shut it all off. And so what I then realized was, a few years after, when I started channel more and more, and it really did come through, was that actually the colors, the visions, anything could be anything, is all about the start. It's the starting of the channeling. So if you feel like, whether you're meditating or whatever in your life, whenever it is, any moment where you might, see a color or see a visual, some picture of something, whatever it is, what I would really urge you to do is to trust that. And the way to trust that, a really good method, is to go in it. So if you see a color, imagine yourself going in that color, and then see what else comes up after that. Maybe there's another color, and keep on going into whatever it is. And then what you find is something more will come from that. And that goes for feelings as well. If you feel something, go into the feeling and see what other feeling comes from that. And it basically leads you on to where you want to be more and more. But really important to trust. So whatever it is, even if it's like a color, if it's a letter, a number, whatever, right? However you think it might be silly. No, it's not silly. This is how channeling starts. So trust everything that you're seeing and everything that if you're hearing, any sounds or anything, and just go in that as you go through it. That's the other part of channeling, is just to trust it, basically, no matter what. I guess just the last point that I want to make, I'm just getting this message that the channeling, what's really important about channeling is that it is really important to understand that it is about going within. It's really about trusting yourself fully. It's about going right within and knowing what's true within yourself. And it is within your heart. It really is within your heart. And being gentle and being open. The other word is open about it. That's really important. But yes, and again, grounding, making sure that you're grounding your body every single moment, all the time, as much as possible. Because again, channeling cannot work unless you are within your body.